All right, welcome back. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Tell your friends about me, please. So, I have another question. It's my last question of the night, and I'm going to go have some fun. This guy, I'll call him Mr. G. He didn't say if he wanted to be anonymous or not, but we'll keep him anonymous. So he said, since you did the bit on Ramsey, that's Dave Ramsey, my favorite hero, and home payouts, I'm inquiring on a home refinance. He's currently paying 4.5% interest, and he's owned the home for 5 years. And he says, is it a good deal that I should refinance my home when I owe about $160,000 on it? Well, here's the thing, buddy. Here's the secret. I don't know. And here's why. You're currently paying 4.5% interest, which is pretty high right now. I'm paying 2.89, and I could probably get a lower rate if I refinanced. But you need to go and inquire for a bunch of different mortgage lenders, at least 3, and say, hey, if I decide to refinance with you, what interest rate can you get now? So contact at least 3 mortgage lenders and find out what kind of rates you can get. And once you do that, if the rates look attractive, generally if it drops 0.5% to 1%, it's generally a good deal. So ask them what the rates are. And once you get those quotes, then say, how much am I going to pay in closing costs? Because that's the main factor. You can refinance to an amazingly low rate, even if your credit's, well, you probably have to have a decent credit score. But when you refinance, you might have to actually buy points, which is like you pay interest up front. It's like prepaid interest. You have to buy a lower interest rate. So even if somebody gives you like a teaser interest rate, you may be paying a ton of closing costs. So you don't want to deplete your savings or cash out your investments to pay a massive upfront closing cost fee, all the crap they have to do to actually close the loan. You don't have to pay all this money because you might not break even for 10, 20 years. And at that point, it might not even be worth it. So get the rates, find out what rates they're offering, 3 different lenders at least. And then if you have adequate savings, like you have a ton of savings set aside, then ask, how much are they going to charge you for closing costs? And then basically, once your new rate, you get the difference between your new mortgage payment and your old mortgage payment. Let's say you save $100, and then your closing costs are $2,000. Well, in approximately 20 months, you're going to recoup what you spent on closing costs. But if it costs $20,000, well, you're paying it for a lot more months, aren't you, before you break even? So that's my advice to you. And then once you look at the information, you can even put it in mortgage amortization tables, and you can figure out, okay, if I stay with this current mortgage, here's the total interest that I'm going to pay. If I get this new mortgage, I'm going to pay these closing costs, but then I pay less interest over the life of the loan. And then you can compare them and say, is this really a good deal? How much interest am I saving on my loan? And if you save a ton and you break even pretty quickly, then yeah, maybe it's a good idea to do it. But you need to go out there and do the research, talk to the loan officers, and figure out what the deal is, right? Don't just get sucked in by a low teaser rate, and then they charge you a ton for closing costs. So that's my advice on that. And I think you sent me another email. What break point should I go for? Well, you're going to have to send me some rates, and you're going to have to send me more details, and then I can kind of guesstimate. But obviously, you can't really rely on me. You need to actually go to the company and have the mortgage officer explain to you exactly when it breaks even. And that's their job. They can freaking do that for you. So you want to do that instead of going through me, because I don't have all the information. I'm not looking at your stuff, and I don't know what closing costs these companies are going to charge you. So that's it for that. All right. If you have any more questions, email me, like the video, subscribe, share me to your friends. I do live anonymous videos answering your personal finance, military, and even potentially political questions if they don't get me in trouble. And buy my freaking book. You guys have a wonderful day.